Before we get started, I just want to say that I would prefer new roles, heist updates, etc., over role expansions to existing roles that we already have. However, if Rockstar is going to go this route in 2021 due to the bug, then I at least have some ideas how they could take this opportunity with expanding the roles that currently exist in Red Dead Online and improve upon them. By the way, your honest views, thoughts, and opinions regarding existing role expansions. You for it? You against it? Are there some things you think they could do to improve all the current roles? Feel free and let me know below in the comments section. But once again, just wanted to go on record and say that this is not the way. I would prefer new roles as opposed to revisiting roles that already exist. We did a 2021 wish list poll, and at the very bottom of the poll, the least votes went to, you guessed it, role expansions. But there is some things that can be done in each role that currently exists, like the trader role, as well as the collector, Moonshiner, and even Naturalist role, if hypothetically Rockstar was to listen to feedback from the Red Dead Online community. It is possible that they could actually make these roles better. But with expansions, similar to the Bounty Hunter expansion, I'm afraid that'll cost gold. Do you have some? You know what's happening, like the prestigious trader role, collector role, Moonshiner role, Naturalist role. Yeah, more ways to get gold from us. Okay, so let's start off with a trader expansion, hypothetically, because this is the one that led me to this idea, because data miners discovered that there are liveries available eventually for the hunting wagon. Now, this could simply just be dripped content in the near future, somewhere down the road, and they're just going to leave it at that, so you have some livery options for your hunting wagon in the future. Maybe it has nothing to do with any plans to expand the trader role, but then again, it might. So with the trader role, what I would like to see them do with the trader expansion is maybe Cripps could be a little bit nicer to the camp dog year round, and maybe talk less about his bank job in Tennessee. In other words, some new dialogue, please, Rockstar. That would be nice. And I would like the ability to have two camp dogs. And the reason why is because we have so many different breeds of doggos right now. Like, more of them are being dripped in with each outlaw pass. And the truth is, I'm kind of attached to the doggos I have. And it would be nice if we could have more than one doggo. It would also be cool if, like, everybody that was in your posse, they had their doggos out as well. And you'd have all these doggos just walking around the camp. It might look crazy and confusing having all these doggos just bumping into each other and stuff. I would also like the doggos to be improved upon. It's an idea I had a while back for the companions, to give the doggos more to do, to go with you out on adventures, to help you with hunting, etc. But if you want to check out that ideas video, I will link it below in the description section for you to check out, along with all of my other ideas. I also think that with the trader expansion, we could possibly get an extra large trader wagon. Maybe the ability to sell up to 150 goods instead of 100. But I also would like for them to do a little bit more with that extra large trader wagon, like armor it to withstand explosive incendiary rounds, because that's something the griefers absolutely love doing. Oh, you see this posse just mind their own business, or even a solo player trying to make a sell, make some money in Red Dead Online. What are you going to do? You're going to go blow up their wagon because you're an a-hole. So maybe with the extra large trader wagon, Rockstar, you could have a little bit of armor on that wagon to make it a lot more difficult for griefers to destroy, since according to you, nobody likes a griefer. I would also like for them to give us the ability to put the regular lasso in the weapons locker, because it's annoying when you already have the reinforced lasso, which I know is from the bounty hunter role, but the weapons locker is from the trader role. So I would like for the regular lasso to finally be locked in the weapons locker, because we don't really need it once you have the reinforced lasso. Circling back to the hunting wagon, an ability I would like is to use both our personal horse along with the hunting wagon at the same time. This would make using the hunting wagon a lot more feasible, because you could just call up your horse while you have your hunting wagon parked somewhere, whether in the Heartlands or Henniganstead or up in Amberino. You go off hunting, and then you bring whatever you hunted back to the wagon and stow it into your wagon. And I would also like the ability to expand the carrying capacity of the hunting wagon as well. All that part of my idea regarding a trader expansion. Moving on to my ideas for the collector expansion. Ability to carry more collectibles. This would be nice. Maybe instead of like 10 of each, we could carry 20 or 25 of each collectibles, tarot cards, bottles, wildflowers, etc. Collections can now also pay gold nuggets through the prestigious collection license, or whatever they're going to call it, the prestigious collector's bag. You have the ability now from Amnazar to actually give you some nuggets of gold for quote-unquote collections. We could also get a new upgraded brighter horse lantern. Some people have been actually asking for that, and others have cautioned against it because it already makes it a convenient target for you at night from other players that see you riding around with your lantern. But there are some people that would like to have a little bit brighter horse lantern, and maybe even the ability to customize the colors of the horse lantern, because I think it's the metal part is like red. It'd be cool if you had like black or blue, green, etc. Or maybe some variations of the horse lantern customization-wise, cosmetically. Madame Nazar's locations always appear on the map. There'll be new collectibles that pay out even more, ability to sell collectibles and collections through the lockbox. That would be awesome. So instead of having to go to Madame Nazar, you could just do it at your lockbox. Even just regular collectibles, right? Even if you don't have a whole collection and you just want to get rid of a couple tarot cards or a couple fossils, just sell it through your lockbox to her. I know that you could take collections to the post office and sell them to her that way, but I would also like the ability to sell collections and collectibles to Madame Nazar through your lockbox at camp, courtesy of the collector expansion. As we head on over to the Moonshiner expansion, I would like the ability, and I think most of you would, to skip Marcel's nonsense. He goes on for at least a few minutes, or sometimes it feels like hours and days. It would be nice if we had a skip option. There are missions in the game with cutscenes, like, for example, Land of Opportunities, Life of Shine, which is also Moonshiner focused. You have the ability to skip it. Why can we not skip Cripps' dialogue? Why can we not skip Marcel's dialogue? I really wish we could. With the Moonshiner expansion, you would also have the ability to sell to somebody other than Bert Higgins. I don't know if it's because he's cheap or he's poor. I'm just tired of having him as the only option to sell to when it comes to the buyers. No more infinite loading screen issues. Now, this should be something that is a thing even without an expansion. One of many issues that we talked about a few days ago in my 2021 fixes needed video for Red Dead Online. So yeah, the infinite loading screen issue needs to be fixed. Stronger moonshine bottles, because Marcel takes great pride in his work, and he'll tell you ad nauseum about how this is the best moonshine ever, take good care of it, but he's cheap. He uses the cheapest, most brittle bottles, jugs for moonshine ever. So it would be nice with the Moonshiner expansion roll that we actually got some, stronger jugs and bottles to put our moonshine in when we are selling them to buyers. A private room inside the Moonshine Shack. Yes, Maggie has a room. Good for her. I don't want to share a room with her. I had this idea a while back as well regarding the Moonshine Shack. Check out that video too. And we go into a lot of detail about what I would like to see done in addition to the Moonshine Shack, giving us our own private quarters, since we technically did buy the Moonshine Shack. It would include our own bed to rest in, wardrobe, weapons locker, as well as a lockbox, fast travel map, the ability to go upstairs and craft and cook items, and it would also be a place you could spawn to directly. Similar to how we can now spawn to the camp, we would also have the ability to spawn into the game directly inside of our Moonshine Shack. So it'd be nice if we had our own private room within the Moonshine Shack. An extra large moonshine wagon, armored as well, and has the ability to carry even more moonshine bottles in order to make more money. Bribe revenue agents at Roblox. This is something a lot of us have been talking about for a while now. When you're approaching a roadblock, when you're selling moonshine, sometimes they'll let you pass. Sometimes they won't. And usually I choose to cooperate by, giving them all some vitamin lead and then being on my way. However, some people like to roll the dice, take the risk, and stop. And it's RNG. Either they're going to let you pass or they're not going to let you pass, and they're all going to shoot you. What if you had the ability, when you're at the roadblock, to simply bribe the revenue agent, and you slip him like $5-10. And he's like, oh, okay, I see your paperwork's in order. All right, everything looks good here. Okay, move along, sir. Move along. Or move along, ma'am. I would like the ability through the Moonshiner expansion to be able to bribe revenue agents every time they ask us to pull over at the roadblock. And finally, earn some additional money at the bar. So you pay for the bar expansion, you have the band playing, you have people inside the bar, yet where's that revenue? In GTA Online, for example, the nightclub, it generates revenue. The arcade generates revenue. Why doesn't our bar generate additional revenue? There could be a limit. There could be a save you go to, and it will stock up to, say, $1,000 or something. Over time, it could get up to $1,000 in the Moonshine safe or the bar safe, and you'd have the ability to make that little extra money as you're playing the game. So it would be cool if we could generate some additional revenue simply by having a bar and a band. And having the band would mean more patrons, and it would mean more money going into your Moonshine safe for you to collect every once in a while. And finally, let's talk about the Naturalist expansion, the one expansion nobody wants an expansion for, right? This role is a lot of ours least favorite, but there's even some things I would like to see in the Naturalist role expanded and improved upon if Rockstar decides to go this route. The elephant gun needs to be reworked. It can only technically be used against legendary animals, and to be honest, you don't really need it. As long as you're a good shot, you can take down a legendary animal with some of the other weapons, like a pump action shotgun or a bolt action rifle. Some people like to use a repeater even, but the elephant gun could be more useful if they made it to where you could actually use it to take down larger animals without damaging their star rating. Like, for example, a 3-star moose, a 3-star elk, bison, grizzly bear. You one-shot them, takes them down, and they still maintain that 3-star rating. That would definitely make the elephant gun a lot more usable by hunters in Red Dead Online. Reducing Harriet's awareness when you are hunting, as long as you're not near one of Harriet's stands, as long as you're away from her at a reasonable distance, you're out of sight, out of mind, therefore she has no idea what you're up to. You could be hunting all day long, filling up your hunting wagon and your trader roll, but she's unaware of it because obviously her stand is nowhere near you. Nearby, okay, it's kind of hard to deny the fact that she wouldn't notice, but a few 100 yards away beyond her stand, out of sight, out of mind, is reasonable in my opinion. I think it's ridiculous that I'm in the middle of Amberino or somewhere else where she has no stand in sight for miles and miles, and yet somehow she knows when I accidentally run over a pheasant or a jackrabbit, or shoot a deer, a pronghorn. That is something that could be made right with a Naturalist expansion. Along with reducing her spraying you. Now this is in conjunction with hunting at a reasonable distance from her stand. If you're out of sight, out of mind from Harriet, then she's unaware of what you're up to, and that reduces your chances of being sprayed by Harriet. Samples and the animal guide will also pay out gold nuggets. Now, chances are the samples will probably never pay out gold nuggets, but what about the animal guide where you do all the animal guide stuff and then you stamp it and you get some money from Harriet? What if we also got some nuggets for the animal guide? It would make people more inclined to do the animal guide if they were also getting paid, even a few nuggets here and there. And samples, I would like for samples to be sellable at the lockbox with Naturalist expansion, similar to what we talked about earlier with a collector expansion. The ability to simply just go to your lockbox with your samples. That way, you never get sprayed by Harriet because most of the time, you're either going to Harriet to sell samples or buy sedative rounds. So if you could just simply go to your camp lockbox to sell your samples to her, send them to her via the lockbox or post office, yeah, that would be a lot more convenient as well. More legendary animals. Now, I don't know how this would work, to be honest. I did do a video where I talked about some ideas. Some of them were crazy and wacky. What else is new regarding potential legendary animals? Maybe some legendary pronghorns. I have no idea. There'd probably be a lot of reskins of new wolves, new bears, new beavers, and new rams and some other animals. But at the same time, it would be cool if they did add some additional legendary animals. Simply not reskins, just completely new animals. Maybe a lion escaped, or a leopard, or some other animals. Like you get to go hunt an elephant, or a giraffe, or an anaconda, for example, since there is technically an anaconda somewhere in Red Dead Redemption 2. Don't worry, it's already dead. Speaking of legendary animals, this is something I've been wanting for a while. What if Rockstar took the legendary animal dynamics in free roam, because it's very difficult to get those to spawn sometimes with all the other dynamics nearby, and they rotated them into the animal sighting missions where you had a chance to get that legendary wolf or legendary coyote, bear, panther, cougar, etc. to rotate in the legendary animal sighting missions. I would also like for them to put that over on Gus as well. So maybe give those legendary animals, the dynamic ones, as separate animal sighting missions and put those over there with Gus. So you go to Gus and you can initiate one of those missions through him and leave the other ones to Harriet. That way Gus could just be like, hey, here, go after this animal. Hey, here's an animal I heard was in the area. Go get it, buddy. And speaking of Gus, some brand new, better trinkets would be nice as well. So I do like the trinkets they added, but a lot of them have a very low stats, low boosts. But it'd be nice if we could take the legendary animal parts and use them as even better trinkets that we could acquire through Gus, along with collectibles. I think it's a cool idea. I like the concept, but at the same time, it would be nice if we had better trinkets. And finally, more customization when it comes to the legendary garments. This is something a lot of us have wanted, is the fact that you get a wolf garment or a buffalo garment. By the way, I wish the buffalo garments looked like they did in story mode. It looks way cooler, but I wish we had more options, more customization, and the ability to either change the color of the coat or the ability to have different shirts or jackets, coats to put the head of these legendary animals on. A little bit more variety in the game instead of wearing the same jacket. I mean, I get it that there's different jackets and whatnot, but it'd be cool if we had a bit more customization when it came to the legendary garments, and some more varieties as well would be nice. And maybe the ability to simply just wear the head of that legendary animal we slayed on our head and use it in conjunction with an outfit of our choice, like our own jacket, our own clothing, without it attached to anything else. But anyways, I don't know if that will ever happen. So there you go. Those are some of my ideas how they could hypothetically improve all four of these current expansion roles: the Naturalist role, the Moonshiner role, as well as the Collector role and the Trader role. Personally, like I mentioned, I would prefer new roles as well as a heist update along with properties over revisiting these roles. But I get it. The bug has made things a lot more difficult for the employees of Rockstar. A lot of them are still working from home. When it comes to making content, they're doing the best they can. And it seems logical that they would go back and just expand the current roles. But at the same time, they could take advantage of this situation and improve upon the currently existing roles in the game. And yes, unfortunately, all these prestigious versions of the roles, these expansions, will cost gold, just like the prestigious Bounty Hunter license did. Your thoughts, your views, and opinions regarding Rockstar expanding these roles, what you like about it, what you don't like about it. If they do it, what do you want them to do with these roles to make them better? Your thoughts, views, and opinions, as always, welcome below in the comment section.